96.1 FM.
And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu Policy Advisory Council has recommended the declaration of a state of emergency on revenue generation in the country. The council also proposed the merger of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, that is the FIRS, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency into the Nigerian Revenue Service in order to enable an efficient collection of all direct and indirect taxes. According to submissions made by the National Economy Subcommittee, the policy will be aided by the passage of an emergency economic reform bill, which will grant the president special powers to drive the economic reform agenda and supports the delivery of sustainable and inclusive economic growth. The council further outlined the removal of fuel subsidy, sale or concession of select government assets, transition to a transparent and unified foreign exchange rate system, deepening tax collection, and optimization of operating expenditure to reduce cost as targets to be pursued by the president towards the achievement of some milestones within the first 100 days in office. Members of the Policy Advisory Council are Senator Tokumbo Abiru, Dr. Yemi Cardoso, Sumaila Zubairu, and Dr. Doris Anite. Still in the news, President Bola Tinubu is currently meeting former Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo at the State House, Abuja. Dokubo arrived at the Aso Rock Villa, after which he went into a closed-door session with the president. 3 weeks ago, Dokubo had organized Niger Delta youths to attend the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja. A staunch supporter of Tinubu, he had asked Nigerians to hold him accountable if the president's administration fails. Former Reps member who represented Mashi Dutsi Federal Constituency, Mansur Mashi, has bagged 5 years imprisonment over 212 million naira fraud. Disclosing this via the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that is the EFCC social media handle, Justice Saleh Shoaibu of the Federal High Court, Kaduna, convicted Mansur Mashi on 8 counts of conspiracy and obtaining by false pretenses. Mashi convicted alongside 3 bank officials, Abdulmumuni, Mustafa, Shehu Aliyu, and Muazu Abdu, in a trial that lasted 12 years. Mashi was persecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for using fictitious companies to fraudulently obtain a loan facility to the tune of 212,439,542 naira only from New Generational Bank, which he diverted for personal use. Upon arraignment, the defendants had pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them, and the case proceeded to trial. And now to some news coming from the Immigration Acting Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, that is the NIS, Caroline Adepoju, has announced a state of emergency on passport issues in the country. Comptroller in charge of media and publicity, Tony Akuneme, disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. According to the statement, Adepoju made the declaration during her working visit to Lagos. She empathized the urgent need to address challenges faced by Nigerians in obtaining passports and declared a comprehensive plan of action to tackle these issues effectively. She inaugurated a state-of-the-art visa on-arrival lounge at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, demonstrating her commitment to improving the overall travel experience for visitors entering Nigeria. You're still listening to World News at 6 on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. Still talking more stories of Nigeria. Inter-Religious Council, that is the NIREC, has said no religion is superior to the other in secularity of the country. While affirming that Nigeria is a multi-religious state under God, the organization called on religious leaders to resist political manipulation of religion that could lead to anarchy. NIREC made the submissions in a joint statement by President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, that is the CAN, Daniel Oko, and President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Abubakar. The NIREC co-chairman said they were disturbed by the ugly trend occasioned by the hate speeches before and after the 2023 elections. NIREC condemned statements that give the impression of religious dominance and superiority in the country. The removal of fuel subsidy, which was announced by President Bola Tinubu on May 29, 2023, has reduced the daily consumption of petrol by Nigerians from 65 million to 40 million. This was made known by the Abia State Governor Alex Oti after the inauguration of the National Economic Council, that is the NEC, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Council Chamber Presidential Villa in Abuja. Earlier, Tinubu addressed the NEC, saying he would accept collaboration in governance to address the economy and improve the welfare of the Nigerian people, saying that he would not be an excuse for failure. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, also said the committee is set up to deliberate and look at all the issues on subsidy removal holistically and set up a small committee of the council to review and come up with terms and reference that will help to amend problems the vulnerable are going through. And now let's have you know the Nigerian youths have been called on to discover their potentials in order to avoid criminality in the country. The National Coordinator Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Vices, that is the POCACOV POCAVCOV, CSP Ebere Amariezu, noted that if the youths embrace good virtues for sustainable development, it will go a long way to ensure a functional community. Amarizu, who was speaking during a live program on Voice of the People Radio 96.1 FM Abuja, allayed fears of rising rate of cultism amongst minors, insisting that security agencies have a huge role to play in curbing the menace. According to him, most Nigerian youths become victims of cultism as a result of negligence from parents and society. CSP Amarizu therefore urged stakeholders to join hands with POCACOV in order to raise awareness in communities and schools by engaging youth in programs that will help modify their mentality.
If you don't know, if you are not certain about what the future holds for you, that's today. If you are not champion today, you are going to be champion tomorrow. All you need to do is to keep pushing, keep being on a normal line, keep being law abiding, keep making efforts. Then you will see that the Lord will expand your coast and all that. So if you don't understand it, maybe you want to get it quickly, you want to make it at all costs and all that. then there are people. That's why I said, okay, markets, criminal markets. Then there are those people there that was okay, be looking at as somebody that they can use, as somebody can draw in. So we have programs like PokerCorp Inspires. We have program like community sports, like high performance, community sports.
Okay.
Yes, taking the center stage of.
While discussing the danger of child trafficking in the country, CSP Marizu said every child is important to the growth and development of society, and no ward deserves to be sold or maltreated. PokerCorp is a community-driven program of the
At what point, or what will even make one or take the decision of selling out the child? Does it mean that we don't love that person, we don't love mankind? What can be done within this, and who to hold responsible? So that's why we're bringing all stakeholders on board, begin to look at it from there, because you need to raise the awareness. And raising the awareness means that you have to bring all stakeholders on board, bring all their hands on deck. Remember, we're talking about community policing. So bringing them on board, so we begin to look at it, that when this is not right, this is not supposed to be done, this is the action we are supposed to taking, and all that. We raise it.
PokerCorp is a community-driven program of the Nigeria Police Force aimed at sensitizing different stakeholders on the dangers of cultism, changing the mindset of youth against violence and other vices. PokerCorp is also aimed at educating relevant stakeholders such as traditional rulers, town union presidents, political class, youth leaders, market union leaders, and students leaders. And now let's go to some matters concerning a minor. The police command in Enugu State has arrested an alleged suspect, Augustine Akor, 21, for raping and strangling to death his 16-year-old female relative, Faith Akuji. This was made known in a statement issued by the command spokesman, DSP Daniel Ndukwe in Enugu. Ndukwe said the incident happened on June 8 in a bush at Mpole Ubere in the Ete community within Igbo Eze North local government area of the state. He said it took the combined efforts of police operatives serving in Igbo Eze North division of the command with assistance from the neighborhood watch group to track Akor and arrest him on June 12 at about 9:30 a.m. Investigations indicates that the victim had gone missing in the evening hours of June 8 after her grandfather sent her to grind cassava in the community center, as all efforts made to trace her whereabouts proved abortive. You are listening to World News at 6 and Voice of the People 96.1 FM. After the break, foreign stories. And now talking to foreign stories, Greek officials have denied a series of reports that suggest a migrant boat capsized 50 miles off the south coast because a rope was attached by coast guards. So far, 78 people are confirmed dead, but hundreds more are feared missing. The Coast Guard said initially it had kept a discreet distance, but the government spokesman now says a rope was used when the Coast Guard approached the fishing boat. Elias Siankantaris has said that a few hours before the boat went down, the Coast Guard had used the rope to steady themselves to approach to see if they wanted any help. But he stressed there was no mooring rope, suggesting that there is no attempt to tow the boat or tether to eat for any length of time. They refused it. They said no help. We go to Italy and continued on their way. The question of whether any of the ships tried to attach a rope to the migrant boat was first raised by an activist who said people on board had said they feared it could prompt their highly crowded boat to turn over. A total of 104 people were saved from the sea soon after the ship sank shortly after local time on Wednesday, but the chances of finding any more are disappearing fast. The United Nations International Organization for Migration has described the sinking as one of the biggest tragedies in the Mediterranean. The Greek government's insistence that no mooring rope was used. This was made known following a report that a Coast Guard vessel turned on searchlights and used loudspeakers to tell those on board they were in danger and would not be safe. And now talking sports, UFC fighter Conor McGregor has been accused of sexually assaulting a woman after an NBA Finals basketball game in Miami earlier this month. A legal letter outlining allegations sent to Mr. McGregor states the alleged assault took place in a bathroom at Kaseya Center. A lawyer representing McGregor said the allegations are false. The City of Miami police said an investigation had been opened. In a statement, UFC said it was aware of the allegations and was gathering further details. The Miami Heat, which hosted the NBA Finals game, said it was conducting a full investigation. The woman's lawyer, Ariel Michelle, said her client had been watching Game 4 of the NBA Finals on Friday, 9 June, before the alleged incident happened. In the legal letter to McGregor, Ms. Michelle alleged the woman was forced into a men's bathroom by security guards from the NBA and Miami Heat before being violently sexually assaulted by McGregor. And now to wrap up, here again are the top stories. We told you Tinubu economic advisors proposed customs NIMASA FIRS merger. We also told you immigration boss declares state of emergency. Earlier in the headlines, ex-reps member bags 5 years imprisonment over 212 million naira fraud. And police arrest youth for alleged rape. On the foreign scene, Greece boat disaster officials deny Coast Guard rope led to migrants' tragedy. And the world of sports, Conor McGregor accused of sex assault after NBA game. And that is a wrap on the world news at 6. The news was edited and compiled by Alice Ennis. Good evening.